Dzień dobry. 4 years ago, I was sitting in Zion Square. Zion Square is the true heart of Jerusalem. It's the center of the center. Actually, when you are sitting in Zion Square, you are facing one of the most diverse places in the world. Christian, Muslim, Jews, Palestinians, Israelis, ultra-Orthodox and secular, local and tourist, poor and rich, young and old, all are sharing the same place at the same time. While I was sitting there, I realized that public spaces are no longer inviting. When you are in public, especially streets, where people are in physical proximity to each other, one would expect a lot of social interactions. But often, the opposite is true. When you are walking in crowded streets with such diverse type of population, you sometimes feel alone. When I was sitting in Zion Square, I remember the words of the song of Jim Morrison, "People are strange when you are a stranger, faces look ugly when you're alone." I started to think how this realm can be what's happened here? It's the same. How can this realm be changed? Can we transform streets from being a functional place, allowing people to move from point A to point B, into places that bring people together? For some reasons, this does not happen in reality. Streets, social interaction within streets often do not happen. And this is because something is missing. Something like common language, common feelings, something like common feelings, common language. When you are feeling like a stranger, even in your own town, it is like you are in a social darkness. It's like someone has switched off the lights. You see? Yeah, thank you. We are the same people at the same place, but suddenly we could not see each other. One of our senses has been switched off. But there is something that can fill this emptiness, and this is music. Let's try it. You see, I'm Israeli, you are Polish, we are listening to a song in English, but when hearing the song, we all feel something in common. And this is the magic of music, because music can create a common language among people. Now, you may say, music exists in the streets, and you're right. In Jerusalem, like in many other cities in the world, there are professional musicians who play music to make their living. But this music is a bit different. It creates kind of a contractual relationship where on the one hand you have the musician, and on the other hand you have the audience who is expected to pay. People who are not willing to pay may feel great discomfort in just standing and listening to the music. They might even walk away. But when music is created together, the whole experience is different. So, what if we can rethink this paradigm and use the streets as a place that can actively connect people? I thought that the way to create such places where people can share the music is to put musical instruments in the streets, in places that will be designated, inviting, and permanent. I started to systematically think about different musical tools that can be located outside. I began starting about wind instruments, but decided against them because hygiene concerns. I then thought about a string instrument like guitar or violin, but since they are highly portable, there's no real reason to put them outside in the street. I then thought about drums, but they are too noisy. I thought about harp, which is extremely beautiful instrument, but since we are not in ancient Greece anymore, only very few people know how to play harp. I then thought about the piano. And right from the beginning, it was clear to me that piano is the ultimate instrument to be located in the street. Many people know how to play piano, and obviously no one can bring piano from home. Stuck. Pianos are also very exciting because no one is expecting to find such a beautiful, heavy, and expensive instrument in the middle of the street between people, buses, noise, and dirt. But how could I create a piano that can withstand such extreme weather conditions as snow, rain, sun, wind, or dust? How can I take a delicate instrument that requires at least twice a year tuning and turn it into a durable instrument that can withstand the elements? I was stuck with these questions for a long, long time. While preparing a lecture to my students, I came across a book by Judy Waring on the 12 worst inventions in the world. It's actually an educational book showing people that even the greatest inventors in the world had flops. One of the inventions described in this book is Edison concrete piano. It's even appeared on the cover of the book. While reading the chapter on Edison's concrete piano, I was shocked. Maybe Edison's idea was not such a bad idea. Maybe I can build one, because concrete pianos are not likely to be damaged from the weather and can easily withstand the wear and tear created by masses of people. So, empowered by Edison, I began producing the world's first concrete piano. After 6 months of development and after facing a lot of problems, mainly regarding to the tuning of the piano and the sealing of the piano, because you all know that pianos are very sensitive to humidity, we placed the first piano in Jerusalem, in Zion Square. The success was immediate. Moments after installing the piano, it became a local hit. People came and played. And since then, it it is playing day after day, in rain and in sun, for hours till end. The piano also creates some unforgettable moments, like there were 5 wedding proposals offered around the piano. By the way, one was unsuccessful. It appears that music cannot solve all the problem. Squares has changed their name by the people or officially to the piano square, like here in Haifa. And in many cities, people started to open WhatsApp groups in order to set times for musical jams and to exchange experience. The pianos also bring some amazing social interactions. Like here, when you see the rabbi play to the nun, and then they switch. Like here, where you can see 22 years old Dana from Tel Aviv playing with 75 years Thomas from Belgium. And here where you can see Rona from Jerusalem play songs of Adele to Muhammad from East Jerusalem. 2 years later, and thousands of hours of music, we can see that music and pianos can bring back vitality to the streets. After that first piano, we installed 40 more pianos throughout Israel. And now, for the first time, we bring outside Israel a piano to Poland, to the home of Chopin. Thank you.
Hi, I'm CEO of the Polish street manufacturer of street furniture manufacturer over 1 decade. So that's how I was witnessing the huge changes that was made in the public space of Poland among all that years. And actually, you know, the government and municipalities spent hundreds of billion euros to public space. They hired the best architects to design it in the way to be more beautiful, useful, green, and smart. And at the first glance, we might see that, you know, the results are amazing. But when you take a closer look into the scene, you actually can realize that we are only putting all that hundreds of beautifully benches, creating the more convenient environment, and only to the people sitting alone on that benches with their smartphones in hand. So it looks like they are hermetically closed in their own invisible bubbles. And that's why I was so excited about Dan's idea in Israel and how big social success it turned out in Israel. But in the same time, I was a little bit worried and concerned if that can work the same in Poland because of the huge culture gap and, of course, the huge difference in the weather itself. So it was something that you cannot check about the marketing research, and you just need to bring one of the pianos on the stage and see what happened. And it was actually what we decided to do with Dan. And we get one piano to Poland, and instantly when it arrives, we put one in the market square of Gliwice city. And it was early morning, early Saturday, cold morning, so almost no people was over there. And we were a little bit worried for a moment if that really can work in Poland the same way. But one of the first couples that was passing by unexpectedly do something with the piano, and the woman gave her a handbag to the man, and she just sat and started to play the Beethoven just for 1 minute very beautifully. And then for that moment I felt in the heart that it really will work in Poland, and actually it started to working. And after that first early adopter, actually the first lady that was playing the outdoor piano in all Europe, because besides that, it was only in Israel. Hundreds of people attending. It was a lot of players, a lot of young, old. They were doing amazing actions like returning to home to get back for the notes and then return to play. They organize in the small bands, then make appointment for another playing. There was even one interesting woman, the redhead, the famous piano teacher that suddenly met her two students that they haven't seen for a long time. The students was with children, but it doesn't stop them to start sing and play the real opera that they used to do probably many years before. Yeah, so that was all happening only in one cold day in Gliwice. So now, if you can imagine what we can achieve if that wouldn't be only one-day installation, but permanent installation to share the music that way, it can really improve the social interaction between the people highly, just like it already happened in Israel. And another thing that came to my mind when I'm thinking about the smart thing that we are all imagine that we can change the world to invent something really that is high technology. The truth is, of course, besides the piano, incorporate a lot of technology to make it happen to work outdoor. But it's not like this. You all the time need to think only about the spacecraft technology to do extremely smart things. And that's all thanks to Edison's failed invention, and of course, thanks to Dan. Thank you.